Shalom, first and foremost, I'd give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Wakakadash. Double honors to the elders for preaching his word truthfully and sincerely. And I say shalom to the Akim, scattered through the four corners of the globe, preaching the word truthfully and sincerely. And I say shalom to you Akim out there. And this is a news article was recently, as of Wednesday, January 25th, 2023 at 9:24 a.m. Central Standard Time from the Associated Press and news.yahoo.com, and it reads, Iran sanctions Europeans over criticism over protest crackdown. Right, and it comes a couple of days after, I believe, the EU and other countries use more fresh economic sanctions on Iran, which I did a sit down lesson on it a couple of days ago. On with the protests that was recently and previously in Iran. Now you have a few days later, Iran using sanctions back on Europe in response to of them using sanctions on Iran. Now you have Iran using sanctions on them. As it says, Iran sanctions Europeans over criticism over protest crackdown. And it says Dubai, United Arab Emirates from the Associated Press, and it reads, Iran on Wednesday announced sanctions target more than 30 European individuals and entities, portraying the move as a response to recent sanctions against officials linked to a crackdown on a nationwide protest. Those targets will sanction including Britain's Attorney General and Army Chief of Staff, several European preliminary and European military officials. Also target are the French and intellectual Bernard Henry Levy and 3 senior staff at the French Scribble magazine or Charlie Hebdo, which recently published a series of cartoons of lampooning Iran's clerical rulers. The sanctions will bar travels to Iran and allow authorities to unblock bank accounts and confiscate properties in Iran. Those targets are unlikely to have either, rendering the move largely symbolic. It says the move came 2 days after the European Union widened its sanctions to target dozens of Iranian officials and organizations linked to the violent suppression of recent protests. It stopped short of branding Iran's preliminary Revolutionary Guards, a bad organization group, despite an appeal from the European Parliament. In a separate development on Wednesday, Iran experienced a brief nationwide internet outage lasting about 10 minutes. Authorities said they were investigating the cause of the outage. Iran has cut off internet access in various times since the protest began 4 months ago, made it difficult for activists to organize and share information. Authorities have also heavily restricted media coverage of the unrest. Iran has long been under heavy U.S. and European sanctions linked to its disputes, nuclear program, and support for the regional militant groups. The nuclear sanctions were lifted in under landmark the 2015 agreement with world powers, but Donald Trump restored them After unilaterally withdrawing the U.S. from the deal, Iranians have taken the streets since September over the death of 22-year-old woman who was arrested by the brutality police for allegedly violating Iran's scripted dress code. The demonstrators has called for overthrow of Iran's theocracy and pose one biggest challenge to the ruling clerks since the 1979 revolution that brought them to power. It says rights groups said security forces have used live ammunition, bird shots, and beating dispersed protests, and at least 527 protesters have been killed and over 19,500 have been arrested, according to the human rights activists in Iran, a group that has closely monitored the unrest. Iran authorities have not provided an official account of those killed or detained. They have been blamed the protests and violence on foreign powers without providing evidence. The demonstrators said that they are fed up after decades of social and political repression by a clerical leadership that view as corrupt and incompetent. So yeah, as you see right here, Iran sanctions Europe's over criticism of a protest crackdown. So with that, I just wanted to bring that out. This was just a response to Iran and their administration of responding back in an economic sanction way towards the European and EU over the sanctions of the protests that been recently been going on in Iran, and they criticized them for it, and they used fresh economic sanctions. Now, a couple of days later, now vice versa, and Iran is hitting them back with more economic sanctions of their own as well too. So with that, hopefully this lesson was edifying of the news article that I just read out. And so with that, I would like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Wakakadash. Double honors to the elders for preaching his word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to Akim, scattered to the four corners of the globe, preaching the word truthfully and sincerely. Until next time, I will say shalom.